of the data blocks. Let's go back to our that PPT. So that is the very basic architecture about Hadoop. We'll go more deeper inside this. Let's come to HDFS. Hadoop is divided into two parts. I hope guys, all of you are having a pen and paper ready with you. So please keep writing all the new terms or all the things, all the questions you are having in mind, or at least writing, start writing. So make your notes or all the things. I'll surely share all the PPTs with you, but it's highly recommended to you to write all the things, all the concepts, all whatever I'm explaining you. So the first part in Hadoop is HDFS. That is Hadoop Distributed File System, and the second part is MapReduce. That's the processing. So HDFS is the storage part, that is called lower layer or storage layer. So in HDFS only we store the data, and MapReduce algorithms are used, MapReduce framework is used to process the data. HDFS is highly fault tolerant, distributed, reliable and scalable file system for data storage. I'll surely explain you each and every term: fault tolerant, distributed, reliable and scalable, just in the next PPT that is more dedicated towards HDFS. HDFS stores multiple copy of the data on different nodes. That is, a file is splitted into blocks. We have just seen how exactly file is splitted, right? So a file is splitted into blocks of 64 MB by default. I'm talking currently the default cases. You can surely increase this block size also. That we'll see in advanced later stage. And stored across multiple machines. So the first line, HDFS stores multiple copy of the data on different nodes. First block is present here, but the same first block is present somewhere else also. Suppose I am second block here. Suppose I am having third block here. Suppose I am having fourth block here. Suppose I am having sixth block here. Something like this. Multiple copy of the data is stored across the multiple machines. This is little hard to digest, because what's the point to have multiple copies? Means you are unnecessarily wasting your space. Yeah, Guru Prasad, I'm just unmuting you all to discuss all your questions. So first question is from Guru Prasad. Let me unmute him. Yes, please tell me.
Anish, what is the reason behind storing multiple copies in different machines?
Yeah, coming to that. Just a minute. I'm again putting you on mute. So what's the reason that we are storing the multiple copies? Before that, let me ask one question and will answer myself only. How many copies by default are there in the cluster? So how many copies are there is? By default there are 3 copies of all the data blocks, of all the data in the cluster, which you can increase or decrease according to your requirement. So by default is the 3 copy. And now what's the reason that we are storing the multiple copy? Actually, we are not working on a single machine. We are working on a cluster. We are working on a cluster of machines. The clusters, the machines is in the range of say hundreds or thousands. At any point of time, there are fair amount of chances that at any point of time, if any machine goes down, what will happen to your cluster? Suppose this red cross machine is down. Now what will happen? What will you do? Due to just failure of one machine, should your 100 nodes become unavailable? That's surely not acceptable. So if your single machine is going down, there is no issue. Your data block is available from somewhere else. Suppose client was reading from this machine client was processing them. So it was processing suppose block 2. Now at any point of time suddenly it went down. So should complete cluster become unavailable? No. Your data block 2 can be read from this location. It will easily read it from this location and it will process it here. Whatever activity it want to do, it can do here. So this is the main reason of this. Guru Prasad?
Yeah, okay, Anish, yeah, I got it.
So I'm waiting for more
And
questions.
this one more question.
Mhm.
This master and slaves are nothing but like computers, right? Or
Master and slaves are like, please come again.
like it's like computers, like not computers, or
Yeah, these are the computers. All are the computer. All are the your normal machines. Normal, even these are your, what should I say, commodity hardware, commodity machines. Your normal laptop, the laptop from which you
mm-hmm.
are listening to me, it can be normal like that also.
Okay, so they're normal like they're computers basically, right, to store data.
Basic computers. So should I unmute anyone else also? I'm waiting for more questions. More questions you ask, more thing you learn. Not really? Alright, that's great. Means you are getting all the things. So guys, this is pretty important. Sure, Guru Prasad. Yes, please tell me. Guru Prasad, I think you are muted from your side also.
Yeah. So this is basically cluster means it's like it's a group of it's a group of devices, right, connected together
Group
for
of
distributed
computers.
computing or parallel processing
Yeah,
or
group of computers that are
yeah.
connected together via network.
Okay, for parallel processing or distributed computing or distributed processing,
Yeah,
right?
yes, perfect.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. There's one more question from Prince. Yes, Prince, please tell me. Prince, you are muted from your side.
So Anish, just discussed that by default size of a block is 64 MB,
Mm-hmm.
right? Can we increase the size from 64 to something else as well?
Surely, we can increase the size from 64x. The minimum size is 64 MB, and you can make it
Okay.
128 MB, 256
Mhm.
MB, 512 MB, 1 GB, and so on.
Okay. Okay. So my next question is, for example, my data block being copied to one of my nodes, wherein space is not that much sufficient for, and there could be a situation wherein my data, let's say 60 MB of my data gets copied in there, and remaining 4 MB were not, there was not as much space, so some of my data get left over. So
Hmm.
would that remaining 4 MB would copied, or the completely block would be shifted to some other node as well?
The complete block will be shifted to some other node. So yes, actually, Prince, what happens that your master is having all the information about your machines, of your slaves and all the machines. So your master won't
Mhm.
start copying the data to the machine which is not having the required space. Master knows, okay, this much MB, this much GB, or this much TB, this many TB data space is available on, say, slave 2. If there is only
Okay.
50 MB space is available, it won't copy any data to that. It will directly ship that data to some other slave.
And this information becomes a part of a metadata information.
Exactly.
Okay.
Waiting for one more question. Okay, from Guru Prasad. Yes.
So Anish, basically, so the data would be stored in slave machines, and the master will keep track of all the data which are stored across different machines connected to the master. It just maintains that record, like so where these blocks are stored, where this particular data is stored, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the master is just having that information with that, but the actual data would be stored on the
Slave.
slave machines.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I didn't get your question. Means you are asking or telling me?
No, I was
Confirming it.
just yeah, confirming. Yeah, not
Okay.
question,
Okay.
confirming.
One more question from Prince. Okay. Yeah, Prince.
So Anish, we had just seen the term called fault tolerant. Does a fault
Prince, just a
tolerant,
second.
yeah?
Actually, I was getting some disturbance from my background. Yeah, please go. Go ahead.
So on the first line it says STF is a highly fault tolerant. So fault tolerant is in terms of machine specific or the job specific or what?
Okay, okay. So actually, it's a fault tolerance for its capability specific, means what exactly capability it provide. It provide the capability of storage. So storage is specific, it's fault tolerant. How exactly it's that? So fault tolerant means if there is any fault occurs, if there is any breakdown occurs, if there is any issue, say hardware related issue or any other software related issue occurs, any of the fault occurs, so it's capable of overcoming from that by its own. Say for example, I've given you this example. It was just a fault tolerant only. If this machine become unresponsive, if this machine become hang, or if this machine's link Ethernet breaks, or if this machine, that particular process, that daemon become down, or if this machine's hard disk crashes, RAM crashes, CPU crashes, any hardware failure, any of this thing can come under breakdown or machine hardware or software breakdown. So what will you do? So if I talk about the storage level, so your data won't be lost. You won't lose any data. Your data is available in the cluster on some other machine. So this is the exact meaning of fault tolerant. Prince, clear?
Sure. Yeah.
Perfect. Waiting for one more question. So let me ask that question to you since you didn't ask. Since I'm copying the file to my cluster, file size is block size is in 64 MB. Let me write the question here. What will happen if I'm copying 100 MB file into my cluster? There will be two blocks, right? One block with 64 MB and the second block will be 36 MB. What will happen to this remaining space? How much space is there? 29 MB.
I think system will not gonna take more than 35 or 36 MB.
Prince, please
It
come
will
again.
use. I think it will gonna produce two blocks, one for 64 MB and another for 36 MB. I think we are in a stage wherein we understand the importance of the data and its storage. So I think Hadoop must have been developed in such a way that it should not be wasting any MBs, whether it would be 1 MB or 2 MBs. It would significantly be using 36 MB in that case.
If you don't have prior knowledge of this, then the answer is I would say perfect, appreciable. If you haven't read already this thing. That right, you haven't read.
So that was my random answer, I believe.
And I would say really appreciable. And this is the case. This is really the case. Usually in usual batches, what happens that nobody answers this question, and I give the same question as an assignment. Do go and do some googling over this and answer me in the next session, next batch. So this is the perfect. you cancel my one assignment.
No, the reason being I answered this question because in an organization where we work in, we produces lots of data and we have a fixed size of a data, and if in case the data doesn't match up to that particular level, that let's say 100 MB in that case, our block get reduced to that level wherein the data is available.
Yes. So guys, there won't be any wastage of space. Suppose if you are storing, instead of this 100 MB, let's take the example of 65 MB only. So there is one block of 64 MB and the second block will be of 1 MB only. So there is no waste of 63 MB space. Your second block size will be of 1 MB only. So that 63 MB is reserved. There is no waste of this 63 MB. Perfectly explained by Prince. Okay, let's go back to the PPT. One question. So this is, I can understand this quite early to ask this question. So what should be the block size? I have given you that the minimum block size is 64 MB. It can increase to 64x, that is 64 into 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever is required. So if anybody can answer right away, would be great. Otherwise, this is an assignment question. Please note down this. I'll ask in the next session. What should be the block size? Okay. So I didn't get any ping. It means I am considering this as an assignment. Okay. What is the question? Okay, let me ask again. The default block size of HDFS is 64 MB, which can be increased like 64 into 2 into 3 into 4, like 128 MB, 256 MB or 512 MB. So ideally what should be the block size to get the best performance out of Hadoop? All of you got the question? Or should I type it? I have pinged you the question. Alright, let's go ahead. So Hadoop cluster typically has a single name node and a number of data nodes to form the HDFS cluster. So you might ask one more question to me. I'm waiting for that. Yes, name node and data node. Yes. So the single actually let me explain you why this architecture only. So guys, this master is called a name node and these slaves are called data node. So this is an interchangeably terms which we are going to use again and again. The master will be again and again called as name node and slaves are interchangeably called as data node. So by the way, name node is a service that runs on the master and data node is a service that runs on the slave. That's why these are called name node and data nodes. So usually in your usual cluster there is only one name node and there are n number of data nodes. I am currently totally talking with Hadoop 1 only. In Hadoop 2 you can have more than one master also, more than one name node. But since Hadoop 2 is under development only, it's even in alpha, not even in beta. So we are mostly concentrating on Hadoop 1 because usually in the industry what we use is stable version of any of the software. So this is stable version that is currently having one name node and n number of data nodes. Now one question, what happens if we have seen that if any of your slave will go down, there is no issue, your cluster is up, your cluster is running, there is no point of failing the cluster. There is your job is running, your data is available, you can get the data at any point of time, everything is there, right? But what will happen if your master goes down? So guys, this is 10:30. I want one more break. I think all of you guys also need this. I think the lecture has become too hectic. So I'm giving this assignment, this question is assignment for next 10 minutes. This is a 10-minute break for you. Before the break, let me unmute you all if you want to discuss anything. Guys, you are unmuted. So, is question clear? Prince, Guru Prasad, Ahmed, Shweta, Aditya?
Yeah.
If master goes down, we get office off. So guys, I'll be back in next 10 minutes. So you can also have a break, take snacks actually, breakfast. I think it's what time for Ahmed? I'm not sure about that.
Should
It's what time for you?
what time now? It's 6 a.m.
6 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So by the way, where are you currently?
Egypt.
Sorry?
Egypt.
Okay, okay, fine,
Yeah.
fine. So guys, I'll be back in next 10 minutes. The help of Google for answering this question. Okay guys, so yeah, yes Guru Prasad, please ask.
Swanish, basically these slaves or the machines where you have where you have a databases installed, right? I'm just confirming.
No databases are installed, means these are Hadoop is installed on all these machines.
Well, you mean it's the database, like for example Oracle, DB2, whatever it is, like, the database server not installed, or?
No, no, the data will be installed in Hadoop. No Oracle, no DB2. Data
Okay,
will
so
be
in all
stored
in-
inside HDFS, not inside your any of your this RDBMS.
Okay, so you mean to say like the whole setup is HDFS, right? This whole setup, the master, the slave, whatever we are seeing, this combination itself in HDFS,
I
right?
should say the setup is called Hadoop cluster. On all the
Okay.
machines you need to install Hadoop. Install Hadoop means you need to install both Hadoop as well as MapReduce. HDFS as well as MapReduce daemon you need to make up. So inside your HDFS you will store the data.
Or you mean to say in each and every machine, the whole setup is known as Hadoop cluster.
Exactly.
And HDFS, when it comes to HDFS,
Actually Hadoop is having two parts. One is HDFS and another is MapReduce.
okay. So HDFS is, you said, I mean, my understanding is HDFS is the way in which you will save the data, right?
No, not the way in which you save the data. HDFS is the storage layer. In HDFS you store the data. The full form of
Or in
HDFS is
HDFS,
Hadoop distributed file system. It's like a file system only. Let me explain you. Say for example in the Windows, what file system you use? NTFS. Yes, correct. Prince.
okay.
In
Okay.
Linux, which file system you use?
I'm not sure.
ext3.
I'm not sure.
Okay. So
Okay.
the same way in Hadoop, you use HDFS file system to store the data. So in this file system, you will store the data. This is the file system of Hadoop.
Okay.
Okay. So here exactly you will store the data. Means this file system is like very open. It's like it's not like Oracle or other thing. It's like you can directly create your folder and you can store the data in the directories simply. We'll come to that also, but for the time being, HDFS is the storage layer. In HDFS you store the data, and in MapReduce you process the data. In MapReduce, with the help of MapReduce, you process the data that is stored inside HDFS.
Okay, the data which is stored inside HDFS will be processed by MapReduce.
Exactly.
Okay.
Clear?
So we have to install Hadoop in each and
on all
every
the
machine.
machines.
All the machines.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why Hadoop installation itself is a quite complex activity.
Okay.
Means that's why there are two parts. One is admin and another is developer. For if I talk about totally the technical parts.
So
In Hadoop we install in
that-
Windows. Prince, coming to that, just a moment. So admin is also quite a challenging role because he need to take care of say the complete cluster, all the machines. Okay, and developer do the coding in Java and do this, and even there is one more role called analyst, that is who uses the Hadoop and run his query in SQL and all such things. So if talk about the technical, totally technical, these are the two roles, HDFS and this, and for a functional, that is SQL. So that's other thing. So was discussing this. HDFS stores the data. In HDFS only you store the data. Let's come to Prince's question. Prince, actually Hadoop is not that much very well tested on Windows. It's recommended you to use it in Linux, install it in Linux. So earlier the case was like Hadoop was not at all supported on Windows, but currently Microsoft and Hortonworks has done some partnership to make Hadoop compatible with Windows. So they are currently working on this. There are some versions available for this, but it's not at all recommended. Windows itself has NTFS. Actually, NTFS is very different from HDFS. NTFS is the file system of Windows, and it's totally different from HDFS. So if you want to run Hadoop inside Windows, you need to install Cygwin. Cygwin will create a Linux-like environment inside your Windows, and then you can install Hadoop in this. But it's not recommended to you to go ahead with that, because there are lots of bugs, lots of issues are there. Means myself also faced a number of issues while installing it on Windows. Okay. So guys, oh, I forgot. I asked one question. Let me again unmute you all. Whoever want to grab the opportunity. What happens if master goes down?
Yeah, I think the most important thing in master is metadata, and metadata must be backed in file system, maybe in HDFS or and if after master failure, you have to start a new machine and restore the metadata, and I think you're ready to go.
Okay. Prince?
Yeah, I think if the master fails, one of the slaves, in that case, I'm assuming that one of the slaves acts like a master in that case, and when the machine gets...
Not really.
Okay.
Guru Prasad?
no issues. I don't know.
No issues. Fine. So there is one more term called secondary name node. Okay. So one more assignment. Please do R&D over secondary name node. And the same question. This particular problem is called single point of failure problem in Hadoop. That and for this particular reason only Hadoop 2 is getting developed. So they are developing Hadoop 2 to resolve this single point of failure problem. So if master goes down, the answer is your complete cluster will become unavailable. All your slaves are up, all your data is available, but without the metadata, nothing is there. You can't do anything. So please note down this question. How to do some R&D over single point of failure problem. Simple. Okay guys, let's go ahead. So we have seen that Hadoop stores multiple copies of the data on different nodes. A file is splitted up into blocks and stored across multiple nodes. Hadoop cluster typically has a single name node and a number of data nodes to form HDFS cluster. So that also we have seen. Okay. Now, so guys, this way I try to explain that your file is split into data blocks. Say data block 1, data block 2, data block 3, and then your MapReduce process will come on the top of this and to process the data and show you the results. So this picture is, if I talk in terms of HDFS, it's totally for show you your file is broken down into blocks and your blocks is stored across your cluster. Multiple copies, you can see 3 copies of the first block, 3 copies of the second block, and so on is stored on your Hadoop cluster. And this MapReduce thing we will see in the MapReduce section. So yeah, that's all about HDFS. Even I should say the overview of HDFS. Anything unclear? Any questions? Any concerns? Any issues? No issues. Waiting for the smileys. Waiting for at least few more smileys. Okay, I think Shweta is not there. Oh, she is having network issue. She will join in 2 minutes. Okay, fine. So guys, at any point of time, if I become unavailable, if my network goes down, please give me some time so that I have one alternate backup internet connection with me. So it usually happens in India that at any point of